Hey everyone, Shade here with a Cyberpunk 2077 Patch 2.0 build. Patch 2.0 has completely changed everything about this game. It's insanely awesome. Very hard is very hard. I've died quite a few times just trying to figure things out. But I wanted to come out with this build prior to Phantom Liberty to give you some ideas on what to do. I'll show you the skill chart from the website and I'll link everything down below. But this is what I'm calling a net running gunner build. It's based around net running, smart weapons, and everything that you can do with it because it's completely changed. Net running is so different in this. Like, used to walk around as an unkillable god prior to this, just throwing out quick hacks and basically not being touched. That is no longer the case. They added traceability to your quick hacks. They added on very hard enemies have a lot more hit points. It takes a lot more to get them down, but the big thing is traceability, where as you upload quick hacks, you start becoming easier and easier to find. So the stealth netrunner is effective, but it's no longer just what you do. You have to come packed with some kind of weapons, and good thing that intelligence in this game is tied to smart weapons and monowire. So there's a couple things you can use to defend yourself. I fall on the sniper rifle side of things, but there is a build out there that deals with the submachine gun and assault rifle side. I found that one on Reddit from Mediocre Bobcat 6585. I'll link to it down below, and he just kind of walks through all the smart weapons. It's a great breakdown, and it was pretty much the direction I was going. I changed it a little bit based on what I was doing because I wanted to try out like Edge Runner and some things, but go there, learn about smart weapons, because until I started trying them, I thought they were terrible because they were not the greatest. They weren't the best weapons to use prior to this part, but with all the buffs that intelligence give you, it makes them a lot better. So before I get into the build, I just want to mention that I am part of the supporter streamer program for Cyberpunk. So if you watch my stream starting on the 25th of September, you can, if your account is linked, you can get a copy of Sniper Rifle. If you watch me, there are other streamers, some of the bigger ones, that offer unique outfits, but I'm tied to the Sniper Rifle. So come on, join it, watch, have fun. I don't know where I'm going with there. I can't sell myself. But as I said, I am on Twitch. You should have saw the little lower third, but if you didn't, it's twitch.tv/shade. I also post my builds here, and this is gonna be one of 3 that I'm gonna post prior to Phantom Liberty's release. So without further ado, let's get into the build as it is now, and then we'll go into the future. This is what the build is now, and I'll kind of, for this build video, I'll probably walk through some of the changes in Cyberpunk, but the other ones I won't, and they'll be in separate videos. I don't want this one to be super long like my Baldur's Gate 3 videos. There's been some significant changes in Cyberpunk, particularly when it comes to Cyberware. Now you have a limit to Cyberware and how much you can have, how much you can chrome up, and each piece of Cyberware, the yellow number there indicates how much of your capacity it takes up. So this takes up 13 of your capacity, and then it also gives you armor, which is over here, and you have a max of 828. Both your cyberware capacity and your armor max go up with your level, plus there are perks. As you can see, the grayed out perk License to Chrome gives you extra of these things. They've really expanded and really changed the UI. I actually like it. I like the system. I think it's pretty cool. One of the new things they added was the ability to upgrade. You have to go to a Ripper dock to upgrade, but you can upgrade to different tiers. So it starts at tier 1, then there's tier 1 plus, tier 2, and so on and so forth up until tier 5. And you have a variety of different things. You have your arms, you have your skeletons, and you can expand it based on different traits. So that is a huge change. The other huge change is on your cyber deck. Now you can upgrade your cyber decks. So there's only essentially like 4 or 5 cyber decks out there. You can buy them off of any Ripper dock. You can upgrade them at any Ripper dock. As you hit certain tiers, I think of street cred, or maybe it's your level, the quality changes. So you see all of them in white when you're first starting, then they transition to green, transition to blue, and so on. But as you upgrade them, it unlocks RAM slots. It also unlocks how many your quick hacks you can slot. It changes. And the big thing is that you cannot slot any quick hacks that are a higher tier than your cyber deck. So if I had a tier 3 cyber deck in, I could not slot my tier 4 quick hacks. It's impossible. So that's something that it kind of slow rolls you in that regard. And then with quick hacks, they cost a lot more now. And there's only a few perks that will allow you to lower their cost. And your RAM doesn't regen as fast, but there's some perks that help you increase RAM regeneration, or give you RAM after killing an enemy or takedowns or anything. So there are things you can do, but not as much as in the last game, where you could just basically walk through and just basically cast a suicide on the entire enemy place and not be attacked at all. Those days are gone. The moment that you send out a quick hack that's not a covert quick hack, the trace starts, and you have to find out who's tracing you. And right now, I'm not sure if it's bugged, but tracing doesn't stop if you find the person who's tracing you, which is very hard, by the way. I wish they'd at least give you some indication as to who's running a trace program on you. But maybe that's a covert quick hack and you can't find it. That brings in some kind of difficulty and makes it tough, so you kind of are running against the clock to not get found out, which is why you have to pair this type of build with weapons. Earlier I mentioned covert quick hacks, so now there are quick hack families. There's covert quick hacks, there's combat quick hacks, and there's control quick hacks, and ultimate quick hacks. Each one basically does what it says. So your covert quick hacks are like your pings. They're untraceable. So when you use them, nobody knows that you're using them. You can use them without fear of being found out. Your control quick hacks, like your weapon glitch, your cripple movement, those control the enemy in some way and allow you to kind of control the fight and keep them away from you or stop them from shooting you. They offer a lot of good utility out there. Plus, as you raise your tiers, you unlock more and more things that they do. And then you have your combat quick hacks, like your short circuits, your overheats, your contagion, and those are the same way. You see the 4 things that it does. That is because it's a tier 4 quick hack. Like at tier 1, it just deals damage and does additional damage to mechs and robots. Then at tier 2, 3-second duration to all control quick hacks. Tier 4, plus 10% damage for each stack of cyberware malfunction. And as I'm going through these descriptors, you can see how weaving the different kinds of quick hacks start to affect everything and create better damage and better control and everything. And they all kind of work in concert with each other. And it goes along with the new quick hack queue system that they introduced with the skill trees. Quick hacking is changed, very hard. They have a lot more hit points now. Enemy netrunners use these quick hacks against you. It's crazy, but it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more engaging, and it's a lot more frustrating. I'll tell you, it's a lot more frustrating because I played this game for quite a while a certain way, and so I'm having to break myself of that habit to relearn how this is going, and it's very frustrating. But that is quick hacks and some cyberware. Just kind of a brief overview. I guess it wasn't so brief. Let's get into the character now. I'm sorry. Okay, so we'll go through my inventory. With the changes, your clothing doesn't do anything. It's mainly cosmetic. There are just a few pieces that actually add things, like this polymer helmet adds 3% melee damage. Most of the other stuff doesn't do anything other than cosmetic. Doesn't even give you armor because they push that onto Cyberware. So avoid most clothing. Just look for stuff that gives you like these little extras. If you are into net running, the BD Wreath, as always, has quick hack upload time. So trying to find the best one of those is great. But for the rest, none of the clothing does anything. I think the system is still kind of the same because you get the green up arrows for higher tiers of clothing, but they literally don't add anything. So I just use them to break down for extra parts so I can craft. Onto my weapons. I'm using all smart weapons. I've got a smart sniper, a smart submachine gun, and a smart assault rifle. These are pretty good based on the skills that I'm using. Sniper double dips from both smart weapon and sniper rifle, whereas submachine gun and assault rifle double dip from smart weapon and the reflex tree. These are really good for close up, and then sniper rifle I basically use to kind of soften the enemy, or if I don't want to get in close because there's a lot of boss enemies, which in very hard there are quite a lot of boss enemies that have multiple hit point pools. I like to keep a distance, but it doesn't always do headshots, unlike some of the other weapons where I have more control over that aspect. It does shoot around corners sometimes, so I think it's pretty good. Plus, all the perks that you get from the intelligence tree really add to the efficiency of this. Now let's get into Cyberware. So this is currently what I'm wearing. As you can see, I have some open slots, but because my Cyberware capacity is what it is, it's going to take a little bit for me to get there. Currently, I've got a RAM upgrade, which increases my RAM recovery rate and my max RAM. Plus, it also gives me extra damage dealt per my attribute point. Since my attributes are maxed out, it gives me 1% damage. And then it gives me 3 extra skills at the bottom that we'll go over in this skills point, because those are determined based on a perk that I have. X disk adds RAM and gives me quicker upload speed, plus it adds to more damage dealt. And then the other two that I would mention are memory boost, which adds an extra RAM, and then you get extra RAM when you neutralize an enemy. I'd probably use that over the bioconductor here. Bioconductor is actually pretty good. Quick hacks can deal critical hits. That used to be a trait, but they now put it here. The only downside is it gives you less maximum RAM, but if you're running in overclock mode a lot, that can be, not looked at. So if you want your quick hacks, if you want to do a quick hack heavy build, I would suggest getting bioconductor, but I'm gonna probably grab memory boost. The only issue I have with these are they cost so much. It's 20, so I have to wait a while to be able to unlock this. So that's why I opted for these first, because these gave me some pretty good upgrades while waiting for this. I'm using the Militech Paraline right now. It goes with the monowire that I have, and then it also works well with smart weapons. Some of the other ones that I've tried are Tetronic Rippler is actually really good too. This adds, you do extra weapon damage on anything that has non-combat quick hacks on it. And then it also adds 40% damage to combat quick hacks if they're followed by non-combat quick hack in the queue. This is really good to just get like maximum overheat damage by throwing. You can basically throw on weapon glitch, throw on overheat, and then put on like cyberware malfunction, and you can really mess up their days. That one's really good. The Arasaka is kind of made for stealth netrunners. Enemies take longer to trace your location, and then your covert quick hacks all cost less RAM. So I think this is made for the stealth netrunner, but it doesn't add any damage, so you can use that at your own risk. The Raven does spread distance. I haven't used Contagion yet. I don't know how good it is. Maybe I should try it out, but I think that works with this. Plus, there's a couple perks that allow your quick hacks to spread, so I'm sure that this works really well with the spread distance. I don't know what happens at the higher tiers yet. Biotech is made for Contagion as well because it just has the extra duration on combat quick hacks, but it also works well with overheat. So those two in conjunction with the damage over time increase really help. So I think those two are both kind of made for those dot builds, so you can use those if you want. As far as arms go, pretty much the way to go is monowire. You can upload quick hacks with it. It's made for basically damage. There's also a few perks in the tree where you can get ram back as you hit things with it. So I would go monowire unless you want to have some fun with like gorilla arms and opening doors or something. For your eyes, I'm running the Sentry optics. This works well with the build that we have. It highlights cameras and turrets within 25 meters for me, and it's active after I scan anyway. Plus, it also adds to my damage and all the extra fun stuff. There's the Stalker I was using for a while because I was running a tech sniper build. That's really great because it highlights enemies behind cover if you're looking down your scope. Next is your skeletal system. Right now I'm using Dense Marrow. This helps take down the monowire stamina cost and adds to its damage. But I took it mainly for the 60 armor it provides because I'm really low on armor, and I'm taking a lot of damage, so that helps out a lot. It also adds crit chance for reflexes. I don't have a lot of reflexes because I spent my one upgrade before I realized that we only got one complete redo, so I wasn't able to change up and get this a little bit better, but I'm working on it. Then I have Ram Riku. This basically, when you take damage, you restore Ram equal to the damage you take. Plus, it gives you 2 more damage or 2 more Ram, and you also deal more damage based on your intelligence. Some of the other ones are like bionic joints. You just get a lot more armor, which is always really good. There's one that adds the capacity to titanium bones. Adds 46% carrying capacity. That can be good too. I'm probably going to be unlocking this, so those would be one of the 2 I get. Scarab, it seems good. I mean, it's a pretty cheap and good one to add to your armor. And when crouched, you get more armor, but you lose movement speed, and I don't like that aspect of it, so I'm probably not going to spec into that. As far as your hands, Smart Link, just get it. It allows smart targeting on your smart weapons. It has longer duration, adds crit damage, and RAM, so just use it. It's pretty much the only thing that we can use. For the nervous system right now, I'm using the tyrosine injector. If you take down in stealth, you can add headshot damage and movement speed, plus you get extra damage for your cool, which is really why I'm taking it, for the extra cool damage. Synaptic accelerator is really good too because it basically slows time when you're detected, which when you're sneaking around is good, and it's also cool tuned. Visual cortex support is pretty good too because crit chance increases the farther you are from the enemy, and it's also cool tuned. So that's one you can think of too, especially if you want to play sniper. If you want to play up close and personal, maybe the Neo Fiber is where you want to go. If you want to play more sniper, visual cortex support. For the circulatory system right now, I have heal on kill, so I get 5% health whenever I kill an enemy. It's really great. It's intelligence aligned as well. Some of the other ones, Biomonitor can be good. It automatically heals you when your health drops below a certain threshold, which is great when you're not paying attention. A lot of times enemies hit pretty hard, especially in this. Grenades are a lot better than they were. I take a lot of damage, so getting Biomonitor might be good. Then I'd probably get like something like Threat Evac or something just to add to my movement speed when my health drops below 25%. I think I've been playing some of the clips, and you can see my health drops pretty low sometimes, so having the extra movement speed might be helpful. As far as the, I hate saying this word, the integumentary system, go with optical camel. It's always good. It's pretty awesome. You go invis, and as you get higher tiers, the cooldown gets lower. Then subdermal armor, you get this at the beginning of the game. It's one of the new things that Vic puts into you right at the beginning. Just keep upgrading this. It just gives you armor. It's really great. It says armor, simple but effective. There's a couple other ones that you might want, like Carapace could be good. If things come up behind you, there's a proxy shield. The closer an enemy is, the more mitigation you get, so less damage coming in at 3 meters, then it tapers off at 6. But if they close in on you, which in this game, especially in very hard, they tend to do, that's could be one to get. And then there is cellular adapter. There you have to get a trait to get this, but this could be really good as well. I mean, it adds a ton of armor, but it's got a very high capacity cost. But this would be something I'm probably gonna get. There's also a range one that I'm gonna try. Range guard. So 60 armor and there are no enemies within 6 meters, which is really good if you're a sniper. You stay out of range, and you get extra armor if they don't close on you and they just start shooting at you. And then as far as legs, it's whatever you want. I mean, legs are, whether you want to, I choose the double jump. I always had double jump. I like double jump. I tested out the Lynx Paws. That works. It just gives you quieter movement and better movement speed when you're stealthing around. It's not terrible. This increases sprint speed, but tapers off after 5 seconds. So you have a really fast burst, and then you go a little bit faster after 5 seconds. And then this is the charge jump, so you can jump higher when you charge it. So use whatever you want. It's really up to you. Now on to my skill tree. I'll show you what I have right now in game. Like I said, I have been swapping to reflexes recently, so it's pretty low, and I spent my one respecing into something else, thinking that I had more of them, and I only had one. But I put everything into intelligence, and mostly I was testing out smart weapons, but I have a lot of smart weapon stuff. I will link to the full build and the build from Reddit down below, and I'll probably transition to my build and talk through what I was thinking here in a little bit. But as far as it goes, rookie unlocks when you put 4 points into an attribute. Pro is at 9, Phenom is at 15, and Legend is at 20. That's how the progression goes. Initially, I put in for optimization. This increases your RAM recovery rate. It's great. Then I have subordination to control. You have 100% duration on control quick hacks used against full health enemies. So I put a control quick hack on first, and it lasts for weapon glitch, I think, lasts for 20 seconds now instead of 10. Embedded exploit adds to your RAM recovery rate, and then you get extra quick hack damage against enemies affected by control quick hacks, which works with this. Then I choose speculation to, when you neutralize an enemy with combat quick hack, you recover RAM equal to 25% of the total cost of all quick hacks affecting it. So if you have control quick hacks on it, and then you neutralize them with a combat, you get some RAM back. It's really great. And then I have overclock at level 3. This unlocks overclock mode where you spend health casting your quick hacks. It also adds some stuff to smart targeting with the tier 4 perk, but the lower parts of this also add RAM recovery and quick hack damage. This is up quite a bit. I mean, it's 14 seconds every 30 seconds, so it's not too bad. Just be careful if you're in a firefight and you're throwing out quick hacks with this, and you don't have any of the other perks that kind of help out with keeping your health up. You can drop really fast. Trust me, it happened to me. For the smart weapon side, acquisition specialist gives you a larger target reticle for smart weapons, and then reloading no longer interrupts target lock, which is really great. Having that interrupt is pretty tough because then you have to wait for it to relock on. No escape when I use smart weapons. Target lock is about to end. Shooting them resets it, which is always a great thing to just have that up all the time. You get extra accuracy for each unit in my Cyberdex RAM. Recirculation, after you neutralize an enemy with a smart weapon, you get 2 RAM. So you throw out all your quick hacks, kill some stuff with your smart weapons, get your RAM back, throw out more quick hacks. It's a good loop. Target lock on transfer. At level 3, switching from one smart weapon to another no longer interrupts target lock, so you can kind of go through, which is why I have 3 smart weapons. That way I don't interrupt my target lock. I can keep that on. You can take targeting prism. I haven't yet. It just adds more target locks to your weapons. when I'm trying to do headshots and stuff, I don't like to have the extra, so I haven't chosen it yet. I might do it later on though. But I do have terminal velocity to increase the projectile velocity and lock on range for 10 seconds after I neutralize an enemy, and it stacks to 3 times. And then the tier 4 smart synergy. When you use overclock, basically your smart weapons get instant target lock and 25% extra damage if it's affected by a quick hack, which if you just throw on like weapon glitch or ping, weapon glitch, you get the control, you get the subordination going, but ping also works. So if they have anything on them, basically your weapons do 25% more damage, which is really great. Over here in the hacking side, Eye in the Sky basically highlights access points and cameras, which is just kind of essential because access points are the only way to really get the quick hack crafting specs that I've found. But it is also a pretty good source of cash. I get like 1,000 per when I do all 3. I've took Force Kill Cypher just for the ease and convenience of having only like 2 to 3 sequence lengths with only 6 possible choices. This really helps to make sure that you get them all, because getting all the quick hacks and stuff, because you get your free quick hacks from the access points, so getting that really helps. Hack queue starts the hack queue. It allows you to do 2 quick hacks in a row, so you can queue them up. You do one, then you do another one. It also adds to your RAM. And then Q acceleration, which I'm working on at level 3, gives me another quick hack, so I can stack 3 quick hacks on there. And at the top is Q mastery, which adds a 4th, so you can have 4 up there. And it does basically a ton of damage when you have 4 uploaded. So you essentially bosses, you just upload 4 and just crush them. For cool right now, I just am getting into the sniper stuff. I took feline footwork because I do stealth a lot, so having the extra movement speed and mitigation chance is really good. I'm going into focus. Focus mode is next on my list to get, along with head-to-head and deep breath, which head-to-head basically lets me reset focuses duration if I neutralize an enemy while I'm in it, and then deep breath slows time. I'll go into the rest of the tree when I have the website up. Technical ability, all things cyber gives you extra percentage to cyberware stat modifiers. So those 3 stats that are at the bottom of your cyberware get 10% to those. And then integumentary system and skeleton get less capacity cost, which is great. Anything to lower the capacity cost and allow it to take more is always good. All cyberware gain an additional stat modifier, so that is why I have 3. And then Chipware Connoisseur. When you upgrade, now I have 3 choices as to what stat ranges I want. So you can pick and choose, whereas usually you only have the 1 if you don't have this, and it is what you get. But this allows you to kind of choose when you're upgrading. And then I also have Renaissance Punk. This adds +4 cyberware capacity for each attribute at 9 or higher. Okay, so this is my maxed out trees right now. This is subject to change. So for cool, basically this is what I'm planning to do. Go from feline footwork into unexposed, because I'll be crouching and cover quite a lot, so this gives me extra mitigation chance. Small target gives me mitigation chance when I'm crouched and not moving, which happens a lot. And then blind spot, when I am crouched, the higher my mitigation chance, the longer it takes for them to detect me, which is great too. Ninjutsu gives me extra movement speed, extra mitigation chance, and then I can also sprint while crouching. Shinobi sprint might be good. I don't know how much it costs for stamina, because when they change it so when you're sprinting normally, you don't lose any stamina, but when you sprint in the crouch sprint, you do lose stamina. So getting this might be helpful, but I do have 30% mitigation chance when crouch sprinting, which adds to blind spot. As I said, here's the focus ones. I'm also adding rinse and reload for the extra reload speed after neutralizing an enemy while aiming. It stacks 2 times, and it doesn't have to be in focus mode. So if you're not in focus mode, you still get that, which is great. Faster reloads are awesome. Take Deadeye, gives me extra headshot and weak spot damage, negative stamina cost outside of shooting. Then I unlock Deadeye mode, which is active when I'm above 85% stamina, which works in conjunction with focus. When you're in focus mode, nothing costs stamina, so you're always at 100% stamina when you're shooting, which these two work in conjunction with each other. But when you have Deadeye, you get 25% extra headshot and weak point spot damage and no bullet spread. So these work in conjunction, and with extending it, you should be able to have focus up and Deadeye up quite often. When Deadeye is active, I have 35% reload speed. Snipers are notoriously slow, so getting that is great. Whenever I do headshots, especially the Ashura has just one bullet in the chamber, so you're reloading quite often. And then long shot gives me max damage always, regardless of distance, whenever Deadeye is active. And then I'd have Nerves of Tungsten Steel when Deadeye is active, guaranteed crit hits. So it's guaranteed crit hits for max damage, and I can do a lot of them as long as I can kind of stay in these modes. So the whole thing is trying to stay in Deadeye for as long as possible, which also is going to stack, I believe, with Smart Synergy when you have Overclock on. So having all three of those in conjunction, I think you'll be doing a ton of damage. And the Deadeye and this stuff also works with revolvers and precision rifles, whereas Deadeye also works with pistols too. So there are some smart pistols out there, so you can get some stuff with it. I don't think get the guaranteed critical hits. As far as reflexes go, this is kind of what I'm looking at for this one, getting all the movement ones. So like I said, slippery, the faster you move, the harder it is for enemies to hit you. Muscle memory, reloading, and sprinting is always a good thing. Parkour, extra vaulting and climbing speed, and then multitasker, shooting, sprinting, sliding. Shooting while you sprint, slide, or vault is good, especially if you're hip firing with, say, like a smart SMG or a smart assault rifle. Dash just takes away the stamina cost, takes some of the stamina costs of dodging and dashing, and actually unlocks the ability to dash. We can also shoot while dashing. And if you have extra points, like you don't want to go into some things, you can get like the extra distance or even stamina after neutralizing an enemy while dashing. You can get some of those. So we have Air Dash is 20% dash stamina, 20% dash speed, and unlocks dashing in midair, which could be fun. And then Aerial Acrobat, which improves midair maneuverability. And that is the net run and gun build. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. It's kind of tough. As you saw, I'm early into the game. I'm like halfway to level 50, so not very far at all. I haven't really done a lot of stuff, but I'm finding the new enemy AI to be engaging and fun and frustrating at the same time. I think they did a really great job with this update. If you want to use this going into Phantom Liberty, I think it's going to be pretty strong, so I suggest you use it. I've been going through very hard with it, very slowly, but it's working. So if you liked what you saw, please follow me here for more builds. You can also follow me on Twitch. I stream there. I'll be streaming this for the most part of the next week and a half, if not longer. Then swapping between this and Baldur's Gate 3 until probably Spider-Man comes out. But thanks for watching, and hope you have a great rest of your day.